G'day everyone, I'm Ben and this is Counterfeit Christianity. Thanks so much for being here. I really appreciate you guys. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment, share, leave your thoughts in the comment section below. Check out the links in my description, but I'll talk about that stuff at the end. As I'm on the topic of voting and democracy and things like that, I think it's either yesterday or the day before or something when I posted a video about that, because Australia is coming up into its federal elections on the weekend, and this might be posted on the day of, I don't know when it's going to come out, but I'll try and do it before. This just popped up into my head again, this idea, this about what I was talking about in the other video, where choosing to be a part of this system of politics and choosing to be a part of it, I mean, like voting in their system. And that means you worship it, you go alongside of it, and you believe in it, you think it has meaning, therefore you are worshipping it. And the only way to be free of that is to be flowing with our daddy. This whole thing, their whole political system is a farce. It's a big scam, and it's just there so that we will focus on it and look at it, and it makes us feel like we have power. If us plebs had real power, voting would be illegal. If voting ever did anything, it would be illegal for us to do it. But it's actually the opposite. In Australia, it's illegal not to vote. That actually does prove that the system is a lie, because there's no way in hell these evil motherfuckers are ever going to let us change anything. They put a few people in front of you. In Australia, there's two main political parties that really have any sway. There's a few other little ones on the outside, and they're all fucking shit. Some of them look more like freedom parties, but they all still worship the same things. I think that a politician maybe at the beginning might go into this thing and think, oh, I'm going to help make things better. But then when you get involved in the system, it's not possible. It's like a police officer. If you choose to be a police officer and go and work in the system that police have to work under, you become corrupted straight away. So it's the systems that corrupt us in this world. Every system, if we choose to be a part of it, will corrupt us and separate us from the ability to be human, right? No matter what it is, because it sets these parameters that you have to do everything in, and then slowly but surely you'll become inhuman. That's the whole political system. Democracy is a scam. It's put there to make us fall into line, and so that we won't actually do anything about anything. They put all these people in front of us. Some of them are on the right, some of them are on the left, and then they all say that we're going to do this, we're going to do that. But then when they get into power, nothing ever changes. There's only one thing that will change anything in this world, and that is violence. They're committing violence against us with their rules and their lies and their systems, that they crush us with their taxes, and then they steal from us continuously in every way, and then they threaten us continuously. If you do the wrong thing, this is going to happen, right? It's just made up laws that if you do the wrong thing against, then you're going to get in trouble. Everything's fake. They threaten us and they commit violence against us. And they're afraid that if we actually wake up and actually do something, they will lose their power. There's only one way that we can change this world, change our systems, and that is through violence. And I'm not saying that that's a good idea. I think that's the worst idea, actually. They make you feel like you have power by telling you that democracy is good. They make you feel like you have power by saying you got to vote, because if you vote, then you can choose who you want. You can choose who you want to be your boss, to lead you. I don't want fucking any motherfucking cunt to lead me, right? If we all woke up, then they would be in so much trouble, because we would understand what's actually going to happen. They know what would happen if we all woke up. So they give us this fake power inside of democracy. Nothing on this earth has ever been changed by voting. Never. Nothing's ever happened. And even what happened in the States, they had this big fake lie, this big circus in front of you saying, oh, this is happening, and now Donald Trump got in. It's a lie. Nothing actually changed. Nothing will ever change by voting somebody in. And they don't want us to understand this fact, because if we understand it, people will not put up with it anymore, right? They don't want us to understand that if we just said no, their whole system would collapse. It's pretty simple, right? Very, very simple. But all we have to do is say no, and their whole system of lies would collapse. It would fall into anarchy, and that's not necessarily good. But I don't know about you guys. I'm kind of sick of what's happening, especially in Australia. And I've spent a lot of time in Thailand over 20 years. And it's the same thing in Thailand, where the ruling class crushes everybody. And then they tell you that you have power by voting, and then you vote, and then nothing ever changes. I don't think that violence is the answer. I think that living in conversational relationship with our dad and him flowing us through the bullshit, all of the lies and all the things that they do to us, have no meaning if we don't pay attention to them. I think that we should just ignore them, right? Whatever they say, ignore everything. Except we won't do that, because we think and we believe that it's a black magic word, believe. We believe, because we've been told to think this, that by taking part in their system, we actually have power. We believe that because they tell us that. But it's obvious that's not what's happening. They always get to keep their jobs. They always get to do the same thing. You know that politicians in Australia, they get to keep getting paid for the rest of their lives, right? That's a huge scam. Even if they've only spent a tiny bit of time working in it, they get paid for the rest of their lives. Government officials get paid for the rest of their lives. The whole thing is a scam, and they don't want us to see that. Some of us are starting to wake up, I think, but we think the answer is voting somebody else in. No, that's not the answer. There's a couple of things that we can do. But the thing that I choose to do is be with my dad and ignore him because I don't believe in them. I don't give a fuck about them. And if we care about what they think and about what they say and what they tell us, then we are worshipping them. So I was just thinking about this today, and actually last night, and I wrote this thought down. The whole idea of democracy is a scam because if it had any real power, it would be illegal. They would stop us from doing it. It's so crazy, isn't it? Anything real in this world, we're not allowed to do. And in Australia, like gun rights and gun laws are quite tight, and they know everything that everybody has and all that sort of stuff. And now in some of the states, they're starting to change those. So they're trying to take all guns off everybody. They're trying to do it again. In the past, people think that we had our guns taken off us. And basically we had the freedom of owning any gun taken off us. When in the 90s, with the lie of Port Arthur, if you're an Australian, if you've looked into it, but it's an obvious lie. He didn't do it, obviously. It's in Tasmania, and Port Arthur was like, there's this guy that went around just headshotting people with a semi-automatic rifle, and he's supposedly crazy, headshotting them from the car and stuff like that. The whole thing is a lie. And they used it so that they could take everyone's guns off us. And people complied, right? A lot of people didn't. Most people complied. And people think that since then we aren't allowed to have guns. But what they did after that, they started a registry. And so you have to register to have guns. So everything that you own is on the registry. And now they're even trying to take that away in some states. So obviously they have nefarious intentions. The government in Australia is going to do something very violent soon, I think. And not that they haven't already done that. During the lockdowns in a couple of years ago, they were extremely violent and they were killing people. The police were killing people for not doing what they were told, right? Australia is a part of this world plan, and we're a test subject as much as New Zealand is, as much as Canada is, where they test their authoritarian ideas and try and crush us. But it's kind of crazy. What's happened in Australia, the opposite has happened. The sheep are still asleep. There's a lot of, I'd say 95% of Australians are complying and thinking that what the government says is good. But there's also a 5% group of people who aren't putting up with it. And my answer to that, to their lies and to their bullshit, is just ignore it and be with our dad. That's my answer, because he will flow us through their bullshit and we don't have to worry about them because they'll eventually kill themselves. And if we all just said no, or we all just ignored them, then it would go away. But it's not going to happen. I know that's not going to happen because people love the lie. They love the circus. They worship the circus that is put in front of us. It's not just Christians. It's people in general. They worship the circus. Christians worship the circus as well because the circus of Christianity is a giant lie. It's the same thing. They just put all this shit in front of you and tell you who God is and lie about him continuously because they don't want you to connect with him. They don't want you to have conversational relationship with him. If you have that conversational relationship with him, then you have separated yourself from their lies. That is the only answer to everything on this earth, is to be with our dad. Don't get stuck in the fish tank of this lie of this planet that they have us all boxed up in. Hang out with our dad. Listen to him and do what he says. Be free with him because he is the only answer to everything. That's my answer to everything, is to be with him. But like always, this is my understanding. I don't know shit. Thanks so much for being here. I really appreciate you. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment, share. Leave all your thoughts in the comment section. Check out the links in the description. I have a Discord chat. This is for real humans who want authentic conversation. If you're a religious scumbag, you're not welcome. Check out, there's a donation link there if you want to help me out with that. Also, check out my music. I've got a couple of links there to listen to my music. I've got a couple that I'm finishing at the moment. I'm going to put them up soon. And then if you want to join one of my Zoom calls, I've got a link to my website there where you can jump on and book a free intro call. We practice joy. We listen to our dad and we come back and share what he's been saying to us in the group. And we talk about real things that are actually happening.